Welcome to a new video, and today we talk about why raw vegans or people who are on a plant-based diet often look so bad. A lot of videos are going viral right now on YouTube, and also I saw this trend and someone even made a video about me. I just uploaded 1 or 2 videos on this YouTube channel, and I already got criticized for my diet choices and how I look, and that I look much older than 40 years old, and blah blah blah. And these anti-vegan, raw vegan YouTubers, they show pictures of certain people who are on a plant-based raw vegan diet, and often these people, they have sunken eyes, they look quite skinny, they have sometimes bad teeth, etc. Now, today I want to explain why it's the case. What is the true reason for that? Since 20 years almost, I'm on a raw food diet, mostly raw food diet. Over 80 to 90% of my nutrition is mostly raw foods, and so I have some cooked food as well. You will get to know more about my personal nutrition in the future, so subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss any videos. Certain YouTubers are always the target of these people who are criticizing the plant-based diet, the raw vegan diet, especially Fully Raw Christina, as you probably already know. And I think she looks great to me. Definitely, she's very, very beautiful. I explain to you why she's looking the way she's looking now later in this video, and also I just want to mention that if she would eat meat or like a regular diet, like a standard American diet, no one would even care. They would just say, oh, she's just naturally thin or skinny, and she's she just has a fast metabolism, right? And I think it's so sad that some people really diminish this way of eating, because I made a different experience. As I told you, I'm on a raw food diet since 20 years. And what I noticed, I have much more energy. I don't feel as lethargic anymore than I used to in the past. Also, what I noticed, my nails grow better, my hair grows better. I normally just have 3 hairs on my head, like, I don't know, it's really bad, because my genetics when it comes to hair is not really in my favor. And one thing I can tell you, hair and nails never lie. So if you see a lot of raw foodists, they may have some wrinkles, but their hair is growing like crazy, their nails are growing like crazy, then they do something right, believe me. Now we get to the first reason why raw foodists often look so bad, in some eyes, I would say. The true reason is people are judgmental, especially when it comes to diet. And for some reason, especially when people are on a raw food diet or eating a plant-based foods, people look closer. It's like you are under a microscope when you eat a raw food diet or you're plant-based. So when people are skinny, maybe they're naturally skinny, maybe it's because of their diet, people say, oh, she looks emaciated, or she looks so skinny, she looks anorexic, something's wrong with her. Do we judge people in the same way if they are on a regular diet? Probably not. And also, don't forget that some people come to this way of eating, plant-based or raw food, when they had maybe health issues before, or psychological issues. Maybe they used to have depression, or maybe they had eating disorders, also cancer, and they decided they want to change their diet. And a lot of people, they try to make the transition to a raw food diet, and real health takes time. It's not an overnight miracle, right? So when people change their diet habits, they expect sometimes that miracle happens, but it's not the case. Sometimes people even look worse when they start to change to a more healthier diet, especially when it comes to a raw food diet, because your body finally has the possibility to clean itself, and sometimes people can look even worse during the cleaning phase. That's at least my experience. I met a lot of people who are on a raw food diet, and everyone looked different. And yeah, some people can look really bad, that's true, but you don't know what they went through before they changed their diet. So for some people it can take months or years and still they see a healthier version of themselves. And I often like to quote David Sinclair. He's a scientist from the Harvard University, very popular guy right now. He said there's no evidence that the carnivore diet will expand your lifespan. So I will link this video below. So now we get to the second reason why I think a lot of raw vegans look maybe a little more bad compared to other people. It's true that some raw vegans are just very skinny. So if you are, for example, on a fruitarian diet, the thing is that you can really get quite skinny. I made the experience by myself. So I think it's important to also have some healthy plant-based protein in your diet, and of course some healthy fats. The thing is though that a lot of fruitarians, they focus so much on fruit that they become very skinny. Yeah, and they don't exercise. Let's be honest, they don't go to the gym, they don't do weightlifting, which is so important that you keep your muscle mass. So it's very important, especially for, I think, raw foodists who eat a lot of water-rich or waterful fruit and vegetables, that they actually go to the gym and do some weightlifting, because they will look 100 times better if they do it. And of course we are not used to see skinny people anymore, because in our society, let's be honest, most people, they're a bit heavier, they have weight issues, so that's what we used to. But why is it that some people look so healthy even though they eat so unhealthy? The true reason is underneath your skin they have water retention. Also, they have fatty tissue, more fatty tissue and inflammation. Your face gets puffy. And these people look sometimes very young. I just have an example for you. My aunt, she was sitting in a wheelchair. She wasn't diabetic. She passed away. And she had a lot of water retention, like edema. Her entire body was like really bloated. She looked amazingly young for her age. She was in her 70s when she died. And the thing is, everyone thought she looked like 35 because her face was so swollen, so puffy, so bloated. There was no wrinkle inside. But it doesn't mean that a person is healthy then. Don't get fooled by it, right? Just because a person is very skinny and looks maybe aged because the person is skinny doesn't mean this person is unhealthy or sick. I don't say that any person is in a bad condition when they have a bit more weight on it. No, definitely not. It looks definitely a bit healthier, and I'm also a bit I also feel a bit more comfortable if I'm not getting too skinny. So that's why I sometimes go to the gym, not as often as I should, but I try. Now we get to the third reason why sometimes people look so bad on a raw food diet or plant-based diet, whatever. Often these people only eat processed vegan meals or processed vegan foods, for example, like vegan schnitzel. Okay, I'm German, I had to bring it up. Or maybe like vegan spaghetti bolognese, vegan donuts, bread, pasta, and so forth. And I think if we only eat this stuff, that we cannot look our best, that we cannot become the best version of ourselves, because this is still processed food. And I believe that all these ex-vegans who are now frustrated and hate vegans, they probably went on a diet like this and they didn't see any success. But yeah, it's no wonder, definitely, because if you only eat processed stuff, it doesn't matter if you eat plant-based or if you eat a normal standard, if you eat an American standard diet. You will look bad, you will feel bad, you maybe have digestive issues. And yeah, there's one thing I have to mention. Even though if you eat healthy, like a lot of fiber foods, you maybe will feel bad at the beginning, because it's like a muscle you have to train, right? Some people, they start to eat more raw food and they feel bad because, you know, there are all these digestive issues. Your digestive system is not prepared for this kind of food. So give it some time, drink more maybe fresh juice or have some smoothies. So yeah, it will help your digestion, right? Also, what a lot of raw foodists do, they like to indulge on dates and raw vegan cakes and cookies and all these dense raw vegan foods, right? But I think it's also very important to balance it with like greens, with fruit, with sprouts, with all this healthy stuff, so that you get hydrated, that you don't need to drink all this extra water. Because I don't drink as much water because I eat so much waterful fruit and vegetables, and I always feel hydrated. And also there are a lot of electrolytes which you get into your body, like potassium, right, like magnesium, calcium, whatever. But I don't say my way is the only way. Of course, you are an individual person. You always have to experiment, be your own scientist, right, for your own body. But why is it that a lot of raw vegans have teeth issues? I can tell you why. The thing is, if you eat fruit, of course the sugar is released, and yeah, there are some really not so good fruit today. Maybe hybrid fruit who are very sweet, maybe too sweet. Like seedless fruit, which I don't recommend to eat. Try to eat like the more natural fruit, for example berries or figs. I mean, of course figs are also quite sweet, but they're closer to the original fruit. Important is that some of the raw vegans, we have to admit it, don't take care of their teeth so much, because they think, I eat a raw vegan diet, why I don't need to take care of my teeth and my gums? But it's so important that we take care of it. Brush your teeth as you should do after every meal, whatever, if you eat a raw food diet or not. After every meal you should brush your teeth, or at least take some mouthwash and swish it around. That you don't need to brush right away, especially after eating citrus fruit, but you should at least take some mouthwash or something. So now we come to the fourth reason that a lot of raw foodists and also vegans, but especially more the raw foodists, they worship the sun. And I know that especially raw foodists, they are more outdoor types. I totally can understand. They like to go camping, climbing, surfing, hiking. They often think, and I used to do the same, if I'm on a raw food diet, why I need to protect my skin against the sun? It's true, your skin is more protected from the inside because you get many nutrients like beta carotene. The plants themselves, they use these certain molecules or carotenoids to protect themselves against the sun. So for example, you have like a plant, of course there's chlorophyll, that's why the leaves are green, but they also have beta carotenes or carotenoids, and that's how they protect themselves against sunlight. That's why some fruit, and they're so colorful. They have these certain plant molecules. For example, the tomato is a good example. It has lycopene, and lycopene belongs to the carotenoids, and that's how the tomato protects itself. So, and when we eat these molecules, same happens to our skin. It gets stored in our skin. Carotenoids, that's why people sometimes turn orange. when they drink carrot juice, it's not a bad thing, it's actually a good thing. And yeah, that's how our skin is protected. So I don't get sunburned as quickly anymore because I eat a lot of these nutrients, right? I eat greens, I have my tomatoes, and so on. Though there is a certain limit, of course. No one can take too much sunshine. And some people, they just go over the top. And I think this is the case with Fully Raw Christina. I think she's a very beautiful woman, but same as me, she likes to worship the sun, and I did that in the past as well, that I really was sunbathing for too long, like sometimes 3 hours in a row. And I believe that's what she's doing, and I believe that's also the reason why she has maybe a few more wrinkles around her eyes, but I don't think it's bad. I mean, it's just how it goes, right? Sometimes you maybe were a victim of tanning bath, right? So me too, in my 20s I did the same mistake, so that's why I got so many freckles and also some liver spots, because I was worshipping the sun. I went to the tanning baths like crazy. So of course no skin can take it for a long time. So, and you will have sun damage. It doesn't matter how perfect your diet is, you will have a sun damaged skin. It looks like crepe paper, right? So protect your skin even though you are on a healthy diet. Just protect your skin. So that's really an advice which I can give you, is from my own experience. Now we get to the fifth reason why people on a raw food diet or people who are plant-based sometimes look so bad. You never know what's really going on in their life. You never know how strict they are with their diet. You never know if they get enough sleep, if they maybe have some stress in their private life. Stress is really the worst when it comes to looking good, because when you have a lot of stress in your life, you will often look kind of worn out, pale, your skin doesn't look good, it looks like rough. And that happened to me many times. Sometimes people, they just maybe going through a divorce, they have a very demanding job or children, and it also doesn't matter how perfect your diet is. If you go through a lot of stress in your life, people will see it. There's just something happens with your hormones, you release cortisol, and I think consider, you need to be happy. You need to be in a more stress-free life. I know it's easier said than done. I know it for myself, because I have some stress in my life, definitely. There's always something going on, but the thing is, how do we see it with our spiritual eye? How do we see it with our psychological eye? I mean, what happens on the outside, sometimes we have no control over it, but how we deal with it, I think that we can decide, right? At the end, stress just leads to inflammation in our body, and inflammation leads to accelerated aging. Now we get to the seventh reason why many raw vegans or many people on a plant-based diet often look so bad. Me included. I have bad days, definitely. Beside the lack of sleep, I sometimes neglect my skincare routine. So a lot of people on a raw food diet, they don't have a skincare routine. Sometimes they even let themselves go because they're so alternative, or they live in such an alternative way, which is really nice. I really like it, and I'm always admiring people who don't wear makeup. They are just so natural. They just let grow out their gray hair, whatever. And we are not used to it anymore. Since social media exists, we used to full makeup faces, contouring, fake lashes, then also fake hair, fake this, fake that. And to be honest, When there is a person on YouTube who looks exactly like they look in natural life, with a plant face or with no makeup, nothing, you know, people think, oh my gosh, she looks so old, or he looks so old. I mean, especially women are the target. So she looks so old. Look how this diet is aging her, just because she never wears makeup, right? And yeah, but I think a skincare regime or a routine is actually not a bad thing, especially if we want to be a good example for healthy living and taking care of ourselves. It's good to be a raw foodist, and I appreciate people who are saying, hey, I want to eat more raw food. It's really nice, but the thing is, sometimes people think that's all I have to do, but our skin also is a victim to gravity, right? You know, suddenly there are fine lines on our face, wrinkles, and just because we are raw foodist, it doesn't mean that that never happens to us. That's not true. I realized that even though I'm mostly on a raw food diet, I still experience some aging process, right, going on. So, for example, that I don't look as perfect in the morning like I did with 21. So, of course, there's a difference. There's still some aging happening, but the thing is, it's much slower. So, when we eat more raw food, the aging process is quite kind to us. Though, as I mentioned before, all these reasons can lead to a more aged face in the future, even though we are on a raw food diet. And I think especially a skincare routine will prevent you from looking like worn out or pale in the morning, or it will prevent you of rough skin. So I think it's good to have sometimes some exfoliation and to have some blood circulation going on in your face. So like some face massage, like some facial massage, or some cupping. So I will let you know more about my routines in the future on this channel. So you have to give me a thumbs up if you want to see more, because it's very motivating for me. And also subscribe if you don't want to miss anything. Yeah, just have some daily skincare routine. I know some of you have children, etc. You don't have maybe a lot of time, but maybe even if it's just for 3 minutes, have like your own skincare regime or routine, and you will feel a lot better. So I promise you. And also you will look better, more fresh in the morning, more healthy. So people will say, wow, this really works. Your diet works, and you inspire other people. This is actually a step in the right direction, becoming more plant-based, because it's for animal peace, it's for the environment. Of course, the plant-based diet is not perfect, but it's one big step in the right direction, my personal opinion. Maybe you have a different one. So, I hope you liked this video, and that was my perspective. And sorry, my English is not my native language, if you can hear. So, but it hopefully will get better from video to video. And thank you for your support. I love your comments. I read them all. I will answer to many of them. Of course, there are many new comments coming, and still people waiting for an answer maybe. I will answer you after, and then we see us in my next video. Bye.